Kumusta mga Exile? Game Ross here. Welcome to another my budget build guide. And in this video, I'm gonna talk about my Facebreaker Impale Cyclone. And like I said in my previous Facebreaker Fire Cyclone, I said that Cyclone was made for this Facebreaker. And even now in this new league that they decreased the damage of the Cyclone, I think it's still pretty strong. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I just recently discovered this champion node, which says here, Impale you inflict last 2 additional hits, which normally you will inflict only 5 impale on the enemy, and with this node you will inflict in total of 7 impales on the enemy. And also it says here, you and nearby allies deals 6 to 12 added physical damage for each impale on enemy. So if the enemy have 7 impales, you will deal 42 to 84 flat physical damage to the enemy, which will be multiplied with this Facebreaker. So I'm gonna put a calculation on the screen, and if I'm not mistaken, with only this Facebreaker and Cyclone, without even using support gems, it's kind of like wielding a weapon with this kind of damage, and it's almost twice the damage of Starforge. So anyways, let's just get into the build guide. First, I'm gonna talk about my unique items. First is this Facebreaker, which multiply your physical damage while unarmed, and this red blade tramplers, which gives you flat physical damage to attacks. This great old one's ward gives you more physical damage to attacks and increase attack speed. And lastly, this Jade Bell, which gives me flat physical damage to attacks and increase melee damage. You can also use this this belt, which gives you more physical damage to attacks, but I'm using a rare belt because I'm trying to max out my elemental resistance. For the amulet and rings, try to get as many physical damage to attacks and intelligence for your gem requirements. And as you can see here, I crafted this -5 to total mana cost of skills, because as you can see, I don't have a lot of mana. For the body armor and belt, they are just life and resist. And for the flask, I'm using Lion's Roar for more armor, more melee physical damage, and Sulfur Flask for increased damage, Silver Flask of Acceleration for the Onslaught buff and increased attack speed, and Quicksilver Flask for increased movement speed. And for the jump setups, I'm using this Cyclone with melee physical damage, Brutality, Maim, Infused Channeling, and Pulverize. And against boss fights, I switch Pulverize with damage on full life and Infused Channeling with concentrated effect. And on my boots, I have Blood and Sand and Flesh and Stone, and make sure to switch to Blood stance. And I'm using Summon Lightning Golem with Cast when damage is taken. And on my shield, I have Val Haste, Increased Duration, and Smoke Mine. On my helmet, I have Val Ancestral War Chief, Ancestral Protector, multiple totems, and Herald of Purity. And lastly, on my gloves, I have War Banner, Punishment with Blasphemy, and Blood Rage. You can either switch War Banner with Dread Banner for increased chance to impale and increased impale effect. For the Pantheon, I'm using Soul of Lunaris and Soul of Rootcoal for additional physical damage reduction. For the Ascendancy, I'm using Champion and I'm using Master of Metal for more chance to impale, 2 additional impale hits, more armor, and flat physical damage for each impale on enemy. And also I'm using Fortitude, so I have Fortify, Unstoppable Hero for increased attack speed, more armor and evasion, increased attack damage, and stun immunity while I have Fortify. And lastly, I'm using Inspirational for increased effect of non-curse auras, banner skills reserve no mana, and increased movement speed. For the skill tree, I'm using this Charging Offensive for chance of gaining endurance and frenzy charges, this Life End Mana Leech, this Iron Reflexes to convert all evasion rating to armor because I'm getting a lot of evasion in this node, this Shield node, and this Fortified node which increase the effect of Fortify, this Impale node for more chance to impale, this melee AoE, more impale nodes, shield nodes, and this resolute technique so you don't have to worry about your accuracy. And lastly, for the gems, just look for physical damage and attack speed. And I think that's all I can say about this build guide. Thank you for watching. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Magkita na lang tayo sa susunod na video.